Why does God allow bad things to happen to good people? It is also the question when we look at the life of the servant of God, Alfredo Verzosa. Why did God allow him to suffer that way years before he passed on to life everlasting? Why the calumny? Why the ridicule? Why the insults? Why the experience of being ignored, of being forgotten, of being suspected? Why the pain of simply obeying, even if you cannot understand what it is that you must obey? Why does God allow bad things to happen to good people? And I ask the same question, and I struggle with the same question, and my answer is, I don't know. I don't know why. What did God do when people were in pain? What did God do when people were in darkness? Let us keep in mind, Jesus is not a rescuer. Jesus is Redeemer. And there is a great difference between being a rescuer and a Redeemer. Yung rescuer, hihilahin ka palayo dun sa problema. Yung Redeemer, papasukin yung problema at sasamahan ka niya at babaguhin yung problema upang maging blessing para sa iyo. But beyond entering our problems, what does the Lord do? The Lord allows our problems to become our teachers. My dear young people, I know you want life to be easy. You don't like term papers and projects and quizzes in school. But you know, I want to tell you, an easy school is a bad school. And a convenient life is a bad teacher. God does not only change our problems into blessings, God also changes our problems into teachers. Because the most important lessons in life, we learn in difficulty, we learn in crisis. After transforming our problems to become teaching opportunities, what more does God do with our problems? God dwells in our problems and makes His cross His dwelling place. Why does God allow bad things to happen to good people? I don't know. But I only know that God does something with problems. First, He changes them into graces. Second, He changes them into teachers with lessons. And third, He changes them into His dwelling place here on earth. And if you want to find God here on earth, it is in the sacrifice, it is in the difficulty, it is in among those who suffer. Now we return to the life of the servant of God, Alfredo Verzosa. He acted like God when faced with the problems. He allowed the problems to make him a saint rather than to make him bitter. He allowed these problems to sanctify him rather than for him to develop resentment and skepticism and cynicism. But the most important lessons he learned in Ilocos, in his loneliness, in his crisis, in his darkness, because darkness and loneliness and difficulties are very good teachers for holiness and for life. And in that struggling heart, in that bleeding heart, God chose to dwell. Alfredo Verzosa was not only a pastor, he was not only a confessor of the faith. God dwelt in him, not only in the good in him, not only in the beautiful in him. God dwelt in him as he carried his crosses. We wish the servant of God, Alfredo Verzosa, will receive beatification and canonization soon. But we don't have to wait for that. Who among us has no problems? Who among us has never faced darkness? Who among us has never faced defeat and humiliation? In defeat, in humiliation, in darkness and in problems, in sickness, even in the threat of death. Transform them into graces. Make them your teachers. And allow God to dwell in our crisis.